Wrestling legend Jerry Lawler is recovering after having a stroke at his home in Fort Myers, Florida. The 73-year-old has undergone surgery and is recovering now at a Florida hospital. Lawler celebrated his 50th anniversary in wrestling back in 2020. His storied career includes decades of wrestling in Memphis, also with the WWE, and traveling the world. Jerry Lawler also suffered a stroke in 2018 and in 2012 had a heart attack during a WWE event on live TV.
It's Jay Coffee on the vid. Damn, YouTube, that's just sad news. You know what I mean? Not the type of ish you want to hear. Jerry the King Lawler suffering a stroke, although they say he's recovering at home. Now, I'm no expert, but in my opinion, I feel that is indeed a good sign. You know what I mean? It's wild. Those that flock with me on the regular and tap into the Jay Coffee Talk channel. And once again, I love y'all. Thanks for rocking with me, those that have been helping me through these tough times I've been going through. But wifey had a stroke a year or so ago, something like that, you know what I mean? And we literally just were going over, like, she has a list of the medications and things like that, you know, like just protocol if ish goes left, you know, what to convey to the medical professionals who show up and whatnot, and you know what meds she's on, etc. Like right before I heard this news, you know what I mean? Because we're going through this very tough, stressful time, and you know she just wasn't feeling the best. So it's just crazy. Right as we're having this conversation, the first thing that I see in the news is Jerry the King Lawler having this stroke, you know, and it's just wild too. You heard him say he had a stroke in 2012, I believe 2018. Now we're here, 2023. He has another one. It's like one stroke every 5 to 6 years. It's scary-ish, man. You know, hopefully, you know, he comes out of this thing like good, you know, like no long-term effects as far as speech, motor skills, etc. And you know, those that tap in on the regular also know I'm a huge wrestling fan. I know I've been saying it, but it's coming soon. I'm going to kick off this wrestling channel. So those that are wrestling fans, please let me know below. Tap in, say something, and stay tuned for the link to that wrestling channel. I've been working on the first video for the longest time, Billy Joel voice, but my wildlife and just all this hectic-ish going on, I haven't really got to get to it. Now, back to talking about the King. I was unaware he had two other strokes. I remember them talking about the heart attack that he suffered live on air. That's bonkers. I remember when that happened. But what I'm trying to point out is he came out of these other two strokes like seemingly not really affected too bad. So hopefully, you know, he's a strong guy and he can push through this. You heard him talking about just celebrated 50 years in the wrestling biz. That's wild, man. That is a long, epic career. And, you know, even individuals, obviously, like wrestling has got so big over the years to the point that even if you're not really a wrestling fan, you're aware of a lot of cats, you know what I mean, from the wrestling world. It's crossed over into mainstream pop culture, etc. And Jerry the King Lawler, I think, is one of those guys that people know, even if you don't really know wrestling. That's how much of a legend he is. And he's great on the mic. He's funny as fuck. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? The way the King just plays that character is just so epic. He does it to perfection. But you know, in this epic 50-year career, I feel like the King is a big part of pushing wrestling to the mainstream. You know, like crossing it over and whatnot. I'm sure a lot of y'all remember, even if you weren't maybe around, because it's a long motherfucking time ago. But Andy Kaufman, you know, comedian. He was on that show Taxi. He was off the wall, crazy as hell. What was his name on Taxi? Anyone? Was it like Ladka? I can't remember. Me and wifey used to love that show. Her family used to drive cab and whatnot, and we love comedy. So, you know, we definitely would tap in on them reruns and whatnot. But in the movie Man on the Moon, starring Jim Carrey, where he portrayed Andy Kaufman, they highlighted that in the movie, how they did a like crossover thing where they appeared on a talk show. You know what I'm saying? And this was at a time in wrestling history where kayfabe was still intact to the fullest, like a cement wall. So, you know, to the world, this was like, yo, like this is a comedian. He's tripping. He's feuding with this wrestler. This could go bad. Is he going to get bodied out there and whatnot? And, you know, if I recall correctly, the way that it went down, he hit him with the pile driver, which wasn't supposed to be used, barred in that match or whatever, and he got disqualified. But it was just a very big thing for the wrestling business, even all those years ago. You know what I'm saying? For them to cross over like that, the comedy world, the wrestling world coming together in a collaborative effort and being covered on major talk shows and whatnot, you know? So the King really helped push wrestling out there to the masses. And I just think that's just such a dope, epic thing, man. And, in this blogosphere world, we see a lot of news come by, and sometimes you see stuff, and you're like, is that really this? Is it that? Is it clickbait? You just kind of can become numb to things, or not really bat an eye at certain ish that goes down. But this is a very, very serious, sad situation. So I'm definitely going to be saying some prayers for Jerry. Hit the comments with a prayer emoji if in a crown. Let's do it like that. A praying emoji in a crown if you're going to be praying for the King as well. Comment some of your favorite moments from the King. You know what I mean? Like, are you a wrestling fan so far back to where like you really used to watch Jerry the King Lawler, a wrestler, or do you wrestle, or do you know him more from his commentative role on Monday Night Raw? Also, for the big wrestling fans, I'm sure a lot of y'all remember what was it, the USWA, which depending on what cable you had back in the 90s, you might have been able to tap into some of it. And it was kind of like the farm system, like, in sports, how they have like farm teams, like in wrestling, it's kind of served as a developmental center, where some guys would go, had to get their skills up and whatnot. They were a little green in the ring. The King's USWA would serve that purpose for a lot of guys in the WWE. You know what I mean? If you watch that show, Young Rock, that kind of tells the story of Dwayne, The Rock Johnson, The Rock, Rocky Maivia, whatever the fuck you want to call him, you'll see that conveyed through that program that, the Rock, was just oozing charisma. He had that it factor. People liked him, you know what I mean? But Vince McMahon, old Vinnie Mac was like, yo, you're just not ready yet. We're going to send you down to the USWA in the King's promotion, and you can get your itch together and come on back. And, that we know the way the story went. He did indeed do just that and went on to be one of the biggest wrestlers of all damn time. So again, prayers for Jerry. Share your thoughts. Let's talk wrestling. Let's talk whatever in the comments. Don't be shy. You know what I'm saying? If you're new, you're just finding this channel. This is J Coffee Talk, where we talk it up on different topics. Music, news, sports, current events, life, and much more is the way that I usually like to lay it out and express what we do over here on this platform. But the point is they be itching on me like a motherfucker, not getting my noties out there to the people. So I need you to engage in the video. To help me with that, I need the support. But also, it's like truly the reason that I do this content in these videos and whatnot is to talk with y'all on whatever the topic may be. You know what I mean? It's right there in the name, Coffee Talk. So let's talk about the situation, about the King, and something else we got to put out there before we close this video out. You know what I mean? The wrestling world is full of so many sad stories. You know what I'm saying? Guys devote their life, their body, to the business, get broke down with injuries, and motherfuckers got the nerve to talk about, that ish is fake. It ain't fake at all. It's a show. But believe you me, man, these guys really go through the ringer, and there's a lot of sad stories of guys getting strung out and just coming on hard times and different things like that. And it's, very sad that some years back, the King's son passed away. Brian Lawler, Grandmaster Sexay, Too Cool, however you want to refer to him, So, that's just a very sad story. And, it just shows you how strong the King is, to push on and persevere through these strokes and heart attacks and things like that. And also the death of his son. You know what I mean? No parent is ever supposed to bury their child. It's a horrible thing. No one wants to do it. We love our kids, you know what I mean? We just want to raise them and show them a better life than we have. But some cats is hard-headed. They don't want to listen. They got to learn lessons the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Stressing motherfuckers out to the point that they be having strokes. But and that's not a joke. That's that ass serious. But I don't know. I'm getting a bit off track, talking it up a mile a minute like I tend to do at times. But again, I'm Jay Coffee, and I talk, and that's what I do. And I look forward to talk with you in the comments below. So with all that being said, please hit that like. Let's talk. in the comments. I look forward, hoping to hear from some of y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. I love y'all. Pray for the king. And I'm gone.